If you're looking to avoid flare-ups after stem cell therapy, you need to watch this video. My name is Dr. Chris Garcia. I'm a leading expert in stem cell recovery. I'm here to help you avoid flare-ups and maximize your healing. Now, I'm going to cover 5 guaranteed ways to create a flare-up. If you are watching this video, you've likely had stem cell injections and you want to know how to avoid them. Well, I'm going to share how to guarantee you're going to have them, and then we can then help you figure out how to avoid them. The first thing that I want to share with you is the person who decides to wing it on their own is going to guarantee a flare-up. Now, this might be you. Do you think that you can do this on your own? You've probably thought, I've had surgeries before. I've had cortisone injections. I've had PRP. I've done surgery, rehab on my own. I'm athletic. I can do it on my own. I've done it before and I can do it again. If that sounds like you, the winging it approach is going to guarantee you a flare-up. Why? It's a very complicated rehab process. When done properly, it's very straightforward, but this is unlike any other rehab you have done in the past. You have to have structure, you have to do it in 4 to 6 week increments, and you have to do it very gradually, step by step, and you can't do anything in those first 12 weeks, and most people flare up in those first 12 weeks. Why? Because they wing it on their own, because they tried it, and by that time, they've slowed the recovery process. They then have to start looking for a recovery specialist, and it delays their healing by probably 4 to 6 months. So if you're looking to maximize your healing, do not wing it on your own. Number 2 is the person who says, okay, I won't wing it on my own, but I'm gonna find a cheap, local, and convenient physical therapist to help me through this process. Now, this might sound like you. I don't know who to help me, so I'm gonna find the person, Johnny, at my local physical therapy who has helped me with my neck, my back, my hip, because they seem to know what they were doing when they were working with my back, my neck, my hip. Now that I have stem cell injections, clearly Johnny will be able to help me out because they know how to rehab most things. Well, the reality is stem cell injections are a very unique procedure. They're not like surgery. They're not like a normal hip pain or back pain. This requires a very structured approach on proper healing, a step-by-step process with somebody who does this on a regular basis to help you identify what's ahead, to help you identify what to avoid, what to do it, when do you start strengthening, when do you start taking a break, well, where are you, how close are you to a flare-up. That person should be able to answer all those questions at any given time. And finding a cheap, local, or convenient physical therapist is probably going to set you back. And now, here's the scenario. If you've had stem cell injections, you've probably put a lot of time, money, and effort into researching what you need to do and how it's going to help you with your quality of life. However, what you failed to do is how to get there afterwards. Everything was built on the procedure, and that's fantastic. However, if you think about just the procedure and not about the after rehab care, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to not maximize your healing, you have delayed healing, and you'll regret not listening to somebody who is an expert in this. So don't wing it on your own. Don't just rely on somebody cheap, local, convenient. Find somebody who knows what they're doing so you can maximize all the time, money, and investment that you've had into this. The third one is relying on how you feel. Now, for most people, maybe you didn't wing it on your own. You decided to find somebody, maybe even cheap, local, and convenient. But the reality is that most people, just like in life, you make decisions on how you feel. So for instance, if you are 3 months after stem cell injections and you decide that you're now going to start going to the gym, and you don't know how much you're going to do, so your body feels good, so you lift some weights and you do 20 pounds. And that flares you up for 1 to 2 weeks. Now your shoulders are all beat up. It feels like it was before the stem cell injections, and it feels like there was no improvement. Then you get frustrated and you're like, these stem cells didn't work. And then you start going crazy in your head and you start thinking, well, gosh, did I waste time? Did I waste money? Maybe did I do something wrong? Is it permanent? Did I just do that wrong? And the reality is that when you base it on feeling instead of structured healing, you have a higher probability of flaring up. So number one, don't wing it on your own. Number two, don't find somebody cheap, local, and convenient. And number three, don't go based on your feeling, go based on healing. When you put those things together, you now have structure, you have somebody guiding you, and you now have a process in what you're doing versus, I just feel good today, so I'm just gonna do what I want. That's just not how stem cell recovery goes. The fourth way to guarantee a flare-up is go quickly back to the activity that you did pre-stem cell injections. What I mean by that is, maybe you decided to go have stem cell injections, and before that you were semi-active, but your pain that you were feeling was blocking you from doing a lot of things, maybe like playing basketball, pickleball, playing with your kids, whatever it is, jiu-jitsu, and you want to get back to that quickly. So maybe you winged it on your own, you found somebody cheap local, you went off of your feelings, and at week 12, month 3, you decide, I'm just going to quickly go back to jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go back to basketball. And you really don't have any structure. You just go back to the activities that you love. Or maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks after stem cells, you just start walking your dog again. You start walking up and down stairs and it flares you up. Why? Because you didn't know that you weren't allowed to do that. What you needed was somebody who can guide you, an expert, not just somebody cheap, local, and convenient, to help guide you through that process. So you can't go back to your stem cell injection activity, because this is not like a normal procedure that you've had before, especially if you had them through IV, intravenous. This challenges your body and it extends your healing time. Now, it does maximize your outcomes. However, it does delay what you can and can't do, but most people don't know that unless you're working with somebody who knows what they're doing. So don't wing it on your own. Don't rely on the feeling. Don't go back to pre-activity. Don't find somebody cheap local. And the last one is, if you don't plan, you go based on how you feel, you find yourself worrying every single day, is today going to be the day that I feel better? Is today the day that the pain's going to go away? And you're just living on hopium. Every day you hope that's going to feel better. I hope this procedure gets me better. I hope tomorrow I feel better. I hope next week. Well, the reality is that you didn't plan anything. You don't have no idea what next month looks like and what 2 months look like. When in reality, stem cell recovery is very predictable. The first 2 weeks you do nothing. From 2 weeks to 6 weeks, you actually just do mobility and flexibility exercises. From 6 weeks to 12 weeks, you start adding a little bit more body weight exercises. From week 12 to month 4, you start adding resistance. At month 5 to 6, you start getting back to your activities, the things that you were doing before, your functional activities. Now, those are all very predictable. But if you don't have that plan, what are you doing? You're going just on how you feel. Well, no wonder why you're flaring up, because you don't have a plan. Well, no wonder why you worry, because you don't know what's ahead. The best way to get a hold of worrying and frustration is to know what the expectation is. That's the only way. So what are the expectations? Once you know the route to success, the route to full healing, it helps ease your expectations, ease any worrying that you have, and it puts your mind at ease. Most of the time, this recovery is not hard physically. It's the mental challenge of, I have to slow down and do less than what I was doing before, and it can be an extended period of time. And when you put those things together, all those 5 things guarantee a flare-up. We help people all over the world, and it's the most consistent challenges that we face, that we have our clients face. And if that sounds like you, and you're looking for help, and you no longer want to rely on hopium, this is your opportunity to find that help. At the Stem Cell Recovery Experts, we help people just like you, virtually, all over the world, or locally. If you find yourself in San Diego, come visit us. But ultimately, we understand that process. We understand you. We understand your concerns. We understand the worry. We understand the fear of the unknown, whether this was the right decision for you. For many, it is the best decision that they've ever had. However, when combined with a proper recovery process, combined with people who are guiding you, who are not just cheap, local, convenient, with people who understand that you can't go off a feeling, that you need a plan. That is how you maximize your results. So if you're looking to maximize your results, you're tired and frustrated with how you feel, contact us today at any of the contact information below. And we're excited to help you recover at your best and get back to that feeling that you once had of your best health. Hi, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for my weekly tips on recovering safely to create long-lasting results after stem cell therapy. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.